Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, we have updates to the drive-by shooting at Our Lady of Victory Church from last Friday.
2 men near Refugio plead guilty to hate crimes charges.
And a fourth bus carrying 41 migrants from Brownsville arrived in Los Angeles Tuesday evening.
I'm still optimistic that the big Dome of Doom will actually move back into the southwest over the weekend. What'll that give us? Maybe 1 or 2 little showers. We'll have all that coming up.
And last night it came down to the wire for a Little League baseball team, but they clutched it out in one state. More on them in sports.
Now at 6.
This is breaking news from 25 News Now.
Breaking news tonight from Florida. WSVN reports a Florida suspect gunned down customers in a Florida City Walmart, hitting 2 people and killing 1. The shooting took place at around 3 p.m. Wednesday. 2 people were shot. 1 person was hit in the foot. Another was injured in the abdomen. A third customer had a panic attack from the incident, requiring medical attention. Stay tuned for updates as the situation develops. A jury trial date set for 28-year-old Craig Wilkinson. He's accused in an injury to a child case. A grand jury indicted him early last month. Wilkinson was arrested Monday and at last check remains in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $30,000 bond. He was arraigned yesterday.
2 Woodsboro men have pleaded guilty in a hate crime from October 2021. These 2 men assaulted a black teen with a stun gun while wearing Ku Klux Klan robes on Halloween night in 2021. The Refugio County Press reports Noel Garcia Jr. pleaded guilty on June 29th to a Class A misdemeanor assault charge with a hate crime enhancement. He was placed on probation for 2 years along with a 21-day sentence in the Refugio County Jail. Race Bullock pleaded guilty Tuesday to a Class A misdemeanor criminal mischief charge. He was placed on probation for 2 years. We have new details on that drive-by shooting at Our Lady of Victory Cathedral last Friday at 1309 Mesquite Lane. Authorities say the estimated cost of damage is at $25,000. A brass door and decorative stained glass window were damaged in this incident. Another under state law, any criminal act that causes damage to a place of worship is a felony offense.
There were also shots fired called that night, but investigators are unsure if the shootings are connected. The church is working on their insurance claim to get the damage fixed. One of the bullets went through a stained glass window pane at the front of the place of worship.
Yeah, the bullet went through the stained glass and through another interior pane inside the cathedral. Another bullet dented the brass front door. If you know someone connected to this drive-by shooting and you want to remain anonymous, call the Crime Stoppers line at 361-572-4200, or you can call Victoria Police Department authorities at 361-485-3730. And so here is your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, do you think the shooting at OLV was random or targeted? Well, according to these results, 28% say random and 72% say targeted. We want to hear your opinion on this. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
A missing child that was the subject of an Amber Alert and statewide search has been found safe. KLTV reports authorities were notified that the suspect, Tarhandia Jackson, turned over the abducted child to the Department of Family and Protective Services office in Tyler Wednesday morning. Jackson currently under arrest for a separate drug offense unrelated to this incident and is in the Smith County Jail. Victoria County Animal Services reports 2 people have been bitten by a fox in the area of Wood Sprite Road. The fox has not been located at this time. Authorities will trap and test several foxes from the area of the fox bites, and they say they have not had any rabid foxes at this time. If you have a physical conflict with a fox, please contact Victoria County Animal Services at 361-578-3574, or if it is an emergency, call 911. Fire crews had their hands full of the large grass fire in North Texas today. Firefighters could be seen putting out flames and digging lines to try to stop the fire from advancing, which has burned an estimated 120 acres. Crews also had to battle breezy conditions and brutal temperatures with feel-like temperatures near 110 degrees. No injuries reported. Authorities said as of this afternoon, the fire is 40% contained. No word on what started the fire.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Mac, let me guess, more heat.
It's a very simple forecast, Karina. I mean, it's just hot. Yep, wall-to-wall sunshine again today, triple digits pretty much all over the place. Your current temperature is at 96. Our high temperature got up to 99 today, so we missed the triple digits. Now, we're going to be right there for the next couple of days, but as we get to the weekend, maybe we'll back it off to the mid-90s, and will there be a shower or two? We'll talk about our chances coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. The Port Lavaca Chamber of Commerce says that 38,000 jobs in Texas and the U.S. are related to the Matagorda Ship Channel Commerce. The Matagorda Ship Channel expansion project is currently on hold. The port asked the community to continue to show their support for the Matagorda Ship Channel expansion project via public opinion. Come to crossroadstoday.com to find that link to send comments or concerns directly to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
2 people died after being shot in North Fort Worth on Tuesday night. WFAA reports when officers arrived on the scene, they found 2 people with gunshot wounds. Both victims were taken to the hospital and did not survive. Police at the scene described the victims as, quote, a late teenager and a 20-year-old, unquote. The suspect fled the location and there have not been any arrests made in this shooting. Women suing Texas saying they were denied abortions despite serious health risks in court today. The plaintiffs are not asking the Texas judge to reverse the state's ban on abortion, but rather issue an injunction until the state clarifies when exceptions are allowed. The group of women says they were told they could not end their pregnancies despite serious risks to their health. Texas doctors who provide abortion care risk life imprisonment and fines as much as $100,000.
A 4th bus arrived Tuesday evening in Los Angeles carrying 41 migrants from Brownsville. 35 adults and 6 children ranging from 1 to 15 years old were on that bus. According to the Coalition for the Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles, the migrants came from a range of countries including Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, and Venezuela. They say the migrants will be connected with loved ones or sponsors across the West Coast. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The creation of a new combined dispatch center along with the adoption of the downtown waterfront master plan was approved in Calhoun County's council meeting. Plus, the Port Comfort City Council applied for a grant to repair the city's pool, and the Calhoun County Humane Society paid a visit to the Trinity Shores Senior Living. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. The Texas Tribune reports West Texas gas operators released tons of excess emissions during June's intense heat wave. This article is also available at crossroadstoday.com.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then when you get on YouTube, you can see Crossroads Today. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. A 100-year-old home in Houston, the Houston area, could become a parking lot as one family continues their efforts to preserve it.
Also ahead, Florida reporting a case of malaria, and we have the details straight ahead. Judge rejected former President Trump's request for a new trial after a jury found him liable for sexually abusing and defaming writer E. Jean Carroll. The former president, who has denied Carroll's claims that he raped her in a department store dressing room in the 90s, is appealing the jury's original verdict. Meanwhile, Carroll is seeking an additional $10 million in damages from Mr. Trump in a second defamation trial.
Eminent domain, that's the law that allows governments to force homeowners to sell their properties for new projects.
North of Houston, one family is at risk of losing a home it's had for over 100 years, so a high school football stadium can build a parking lot.
This is really all I know.
For Tara Upchurch, home is truly where the heart is.
You know, I lived here since the day I was born until I went off to college. It's special. It's a part of me. My dad still lives here. We have so many memories here.
78-year-old Travis Upchurch, a fourth-generation Aldine resident, is trying to avoid moving from the home he's lived in for the past 46 years. The property itself has been in the family for generations, beginning in 1905.
If they need it, I can see it, but they don't never fill up the stadium when they have football games.
Aldine ISD is looking to take over the land through eminent domain to build the new W.W. Thorne football stadium set to open next summer. The family says they were told by the project manager that the district wants their land for parking spaces.
We're still hoping that there's a fight there.
She and her brother are leading the charge, hoping to change the minds of school board members as the plans are being laid out.
I'm really proud of both of them.
The Upchurches say they knew this day would come, that this acre of property would one day go to Aldine ISD. Tara Upchurch just never thought they would take it while her dad was still here.
I cried. I don't know. I think my dad cried a little bit too. It's a shock. He's comfortable here. He loves his house. To lose this, it's hard because it's a sentimental place for us.
Aldine ISD officials say they try to buy homes from owners before using eminent domain. Officials say the Upchurches refused such an offer last year. On Tuesday, the school board sent the family a new offer. Another case of malaria reported in Florida this week. So far this year, 7 cases of locally acquired malaria have been reported in Florida. The Texas Department of State Health Services reported a separate case of malaria last month, bringing the total number of cases in the U.S. for this year to 8. The CDC says these locally acquired malaria cases are the first reported in the United States in the last 20 years. Right now, floods have triggered an emergency in Kentucky.
This as 70 million people across the nation are currently under heat alerts and temperatures have hit the triple digits with almost no relief in sight.
A trail of destruction left behind by a tornado tearing through North Carolina Wednesday afternoon.
Well, that's my sister's home behind you. That's totally destroyed. My aunt's home right here. That's pretty much gone as well.
Fast rising waters seeping into homes and cars.
That's my truck.
Turning roads into rivers in Kentucky. Catastrophic floods triggering an emergency in Mayfield, where an EF4 tornado killed dozens of people in 2021.
Moments ago, I declared a state of emergency due to the impacts from severe weather.
In Pennsylvania, unfavorable conditions have suspended the days-long search for a 2-year-old and 9-month-old who have been missing since Saturday after flash floods submerged the car they were in, killing their mother.
We ask that everybody stay away from the flood zone.
Meanwhile, life-threatening heat continues to shatter records in parts of the country.
Took care of a lady that was burnt on the asphalt. I mean, if it's 120 out here, the asphalt's 175 easy.
Phoenix has seen sizzling temperatures over 110 degrees for 20 straight days now.
It's like being in the kitchen on Thanksgiving with all the ovens and the stoves going.
It's hit 100 degrees and higher for 34 consecutive days in El Paso, Texas. And in Florida, where the heat index has topped 100 for nearly 40 days, Miami-Dade commissioners gave initial approval to a measure that would mandate shade and water for outdoor workers when the heat index tops 90 degrees. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record this week. DeWitt County 4-H'ers seeking support for national finals. Cuero Regional hosting blood drive tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Plus, Pet Adoptions of Cuero happily reports that more senior citizens are adopting pets. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. The Dome of Doom is still in control, pretty much most of the country. The storms that you just saw there a minute ago came right along this line. That was last night, a derecho. But if this thing moves back over to the southwest over the weekend, we may have a shot at getting some clouds, maybe a little rain shower around here over the weekend. And we're going to be talking about that coming up in a moment. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, another day of triple digits. But we didn't make it. No, we only got up to 99. How about that? But our friends in Gonzales did, and so did Beeville, and pretty much the rest of the state. Of course, you know, we have a little bit of moisture coming in off the Gulf. These are the observed highs. This is what we had today, and you can see the real hot stuff goes all the way, this dark red part, goes all the way into the Central Plains and obviously out to the western states. Our high temperatures tomorrow, this is the forecast, we should hit, we'll be right there at about 100 degrees, so not a lot of change in our weather in the short term. Now, as I mentioned last night, I'm hopeful that this big dome of high pressure that has brought us the summer of our discontent is going to actually move back. So let's all push and push it back. And if it centers itself over the Four Corners region right about there, we're going to get a little break. You see right here, this is on your Saturday. We see some clouds in East Texas, a few little clouds coming up around here. And of course, with our heating, we may pop a few little showers out of this. Now, it's not a big whopping thing, but it's a little bit. Okay, it's kind of hard to see this map because there's a lot going on, but I wanted you to see that way down here, right here. This is as far south as the smoke from the Canadian fires is blowing. Now, it's very light for us, obviously heavier out here in the eastern states, but we're getting some of it. And all these green dots are good air quality. All the orange dots are moderate air quality. So, you know, the major cities where the biggest traffic occurs is where they get all the heavy pollution that continues to build up. But there are some days when the winds are so light that even places like Corpus Christi will start clicking in with some advisories. So the metropolitan areas, how many cars? Okay, has anybody ever figured out how many cars drive in Harris County on one day? I mean, what do you think? 6 million, 7 million? Okay, so all those cars, and this is what you get when all those cars are driving around. Anyway, beyond our 7 days, this is our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. The big bubble, as I mentioned, is going to move back, giving us a little bit of a break. So you can see that it's definitely over the southwest, but watch this. It's going up to the Dakotas. and Kansas and Nebraska and all them corn growing states. I don't know what they're going to do, but the heat wave is definitely going to be over them as we get into next week. So yeah, where that dome goes, doom will follow. So here's another representation. We go all the way to Saturday, and you see, oops, a little rain shower in East Texas and even along the coast. We go to Sunday, and you'll see a little rain shower, a couple of showers possible in the crossroads. We go into Monday, still got that opportunity because the dome took a vacation from us. And as we get to Tuesday, you see how the pressure starts moving back up. And now still we have a little moisture around here, but we're just keeping our fingers crossed that we get something going around here. Otherwise, for tomorrow, here's your day planner for Port Lavaca, getting up to 94, wall-to-wall sunshine, and your day planner for, you don't have to plan in Cuero. It's just going to be hot. We're looking for a high of 101, and we'll stay on the triple digits until about Saturday, Sunday. We drop a little bit, and we increase that rain chance to a whopping 20%. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Or let's all go wash our cars. That always works. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Miss Karina, back to you.
Thank you, Mac. And now we go to Sports Director Gina Perez.
Thanks, Karina. A former Victoria East quarterback is getting his rating in the newest Madden video game. We see his overall rating in sports. At Crossroads, the Victoria Northeast Little League baseball team are state champions and are looking a little shaky at the end of this game. The Victoria squad had a commanding lead heading into the final inning, but they would add to it off of a scored run on a wild pitch. During the final half inning of play, Lufkin took advantage of Victoria's mistakes, including a missed pop fly to left field and an errant throw from second to first base, which brought in 2 runs. But eventually Victoria took care of business and got the batter out at second to win the title and send the team to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the regional tournament that is set to take place in August the 4th. They will face Texas West, Louisiana, Colorado, and New Mexico. The Generals are trying to get some momentum coming back home tonight. The Generals found some momentum last night against the Seguin River Monsters. The Generals were behind most of the game until the 8th inning when another errant throw and an error gave the Generals the lead. The Generals hold on and win that one 4-2. The Generals are taking on the Brazos Valley Bombers tonight at Riverside Stadium. It is a bark at the park night, meaning if you bring a dog, you get in free. All the proceeds are going to the Dorothy O'Connor Pet Adoption Center. The Victoria West Warriors football team is going to be hosting a football camp which starts next week. The youth football camps are for athletes in elementary school and continue through incoming freshmen. Athletes in grades 2nd through 6th will be starting at 8 in the morning and continue through 10 in the morning as well for all 3 days. The older athletes from grades 7th through 9th grade will meet all 3 days starting at 6 p.m. and continuing through 8 p.m. The athletes should bring practice shirts and shorts, tennis shoes, cleats, and water. You do not need to bring pads or helmets. The cost for the camp is $65, and you can register before or the day of. The camp starts July 25th and continues through July 27th. A QR code to register is at our website on crossroadstoday.com. Victoria's own Bailey Zappi, who is also a quarterback for the New England Patriots, is going to be in the Madden 2024 video game, and he just got his rating. According to MaddenRatings.com, the Victoria native is rated a 63 overall, which is 12 points lower than the man starting in front of him, Mac Jones. Zappi is giving a 78 in passer rating, including an 85 throw power and 82 throw accuracy on short passes. These attributes can be changed depending on how the former Western Kentucky quarterback does during the season. Last year, Zappi totaled 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and is undefeated as a starter. The Patriots start the season with a tough matchup hosting the Philadelphia Eagles, which made the Super Bowl last season. Well, that's your sports. Donna and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. We're going to be back in a moment. A new study has good news for people who can only find time to exercise on the weekends.
There's encouraging news for weekend warriors who are too busy to exercise during the hectic work week. A new study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that weekend-only workouts can reduce the risk for heart attacks, heart disease, and stroke almost as much as daily doses. The study's main message is that 150 minutes of exercise is the weekly goal, no matter how many days people work out. Now, in my opinion, like especially these days, weekend exercise should include mowing. Okay, lawn
I
mowing.
consider that an
Yes.
athletic sport myself.
I think so too. I mean, there's not gold medal stuff on there,
Yeah,
but
but-
I do. You're pushing the lawnmower.
It's hard
you're
labor,
doing
ice
it,
work,
it is,
yeah.
especially in this heat.
Bending over, moving around. Yes, I think.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Maybe you should be an athletic competition in the Olympics. You think?
That's right.
Lawn
Mowing.
That's right.
Well, so then what
The
times
gold
can we
medal.
mow right now? Because the heat is so intense.
The heat is so, it's the middle part of the day when we worry about it. I mean, you can do it in the morning or late in the afternoon. The evenings have been dry and
Yes.
relatively comfortable.
Nice breeze.
But nice breeze in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the middle part of the day that we worry about it. But, you know, you said 150 minutes of mowing per,
That's for
exercise per week.
Right, right. 2.5 hours.
You know, 10 minutes a day, that's going to take me a long time to accomplish that. So, folks, we continue with the triple digits right on through Saturday. And then with a little luck, and I'm seriously thinking that we should all go wash our cars so that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get a slight chance of a little shower.
All right, thank you, Mac. Thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.